Dear students, we'll go ahead with one more problem on the topic final accounts of non-trading concerns. This is video number 13. I'm Dr. Panduranga Naik, Principal, SVS College, Bantwal. In this problem, receipts and payments account of Mangalore Education Society for the year ended 31st March 2012 is given, and then additional information is also provided. Based on this, you have to prepare income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st March 2012 and also a balance sheet as on that date. Okay, let us go through the adjustments or additional information first. The value of building owned by the society stood at Rs 50,000 as at 1st April 2011. That means, see, in this problem, opening capital fund is not given. Therefore, there is a need to prepare opening balance sheet as on 1st April 2011. So, this building will be part of opening balance sheet. And for the year 11-12, you have to charge depreciation at the rate of 5% on 50,000. That comes to 2,500. That will be debited to income and expenditure account, and in the balance sheet, building minus depreciation. So balancing figure you have to show to the outer column of the asset side. There were 200 members paying subscription at the rate of 250 per annum. So 200 into 250. So that is the subscriptions to be received for the year 2011-12. Okay. On 1st April 2011, no subscription had been received in advance. Okay, last year there was no subscription advance for the current year 11-12. But subscriptions were outstanding to the extent of 1,000. So 1,000 should be added to subscription received here, 52,500. That is the subscription amount received this year. And still they say 1,000 is outstanding. So that should be added. As at 31st March 2012, subscriptions outstanding were 1,500. Still 1,500 is receivable during the current year. If that is the case, what is the balancing figure? That must be subscription received in advance for the year 12-13. So we'll come to that a little later. Okay. Yes, subscription outstanding for the current year, that should be taken. It should be added to the subscriptions 52,500. It should be added. Then in the balance sheet, it will come to the asset side. And as at 31st March 2012, subscription outstanding. So this is the one. Yes, this is relating to last year. Subscriptions were outstanding at the beginning of the year. Therefore, 1,000 rupees should be deducted from these subscriptions. 52,500 minus 1,000, because amount paid of 52,500 includes rupees 1,000 paid for last year. And then at the end of the year, 1,500 is outstanding. That should be added. So this one, yes. So this should be deducted in the income and expenditure account, and it won't come in the balance sheet. Whereas this one, this will be added to the current year subscription of 52,500. Then it will be shown as an asset on the closing balance sheet. Once again, we'll take it up a little later. Alright. Then postage stamps worth Rs 250 was with the secretary at the beginning of the year. So opening balance. Then stamps at the end of the year were 150. That means the telephone, the postage is there 2,200. That means postage stamp purchased mostly. Yes. So 250 at the beginning, add 2,200 minus closing stock 150. This 250, this will appear in the opening balance sheet asset side. This will come to the closing balance sheet of asset side. Okay. Yes. The investments in shares at the beginning of the year were 5,000. So this will come to the opening balance sheet. And if there is no additions to the investment, that also will come to the closing balance sheet. Annual day receipts 250 outstanding. So annual day receipts 26,800. To that you can add these value, that is 250 to be added. Then similar item connected to that is there here. That is annual day expenses. This can be shown on the outer column. So this is receivable, and this will be taken as expense. Annual day expenses 1,500. Alternatively, what you can do is 26,800 add outstanding less annual day expenses. So in the income side only you can finish off the treatment of this item. Alright, next, rent of the hall outstanding, which is 2,500, was still to be paid. So rent of the hall, okay, nowhere it is given, I think, therefore it doesn't matter. To the left side you can take rent outstanding, entire amount is outstanding, that is 2,500, and in the closing balance sheet it will be liability. Telephone expenses prepaid. Prepaid means next year's expenses you have paid this year only, that is not the expense of current year. So telephone charges 2,500 minus these 300, so remaining amount is current year telephone expenses. These prepaid expenses will come to the closing balance sheet. Okay, look at the items here. Cash at bank will come to the opening balance sheet because here capital fund is not given, so you need to calculate capital fund. Subscriptions 52,500. Last year's subscription outstanding, that is 1,000 should be deducted, and current year subscription outstanding, that should be added. And then you have to find out what is the subscription received in advance for next year, because that should be that item, there is no other go, that you have to ascertain. So ultimately the balance should be 50,000 only, because 200 members are there, 200 members into 250, current year income is just 50,000, and it cannot be more than 50,000 or less than 50,000. So the balancing figure should be subscription received in advance during the current year. Annual day receipts already told, 26,800, add outstanding. Then if you want, you can show the deduction of 1,500 from the item, or else annual day expenses can be shown as expenses separately. Symposium receipts 22,500 the left hand side, income side. Then expense side, symposium expenses 10,000. Or else you can take 22,500 on the credit side of income and expenditure account. There only you deduct the symposium expenses, the net value can be shown. In that case, you cannot once again show it in the expenditure side. Dividend on show, so this is an income. Then salaries, it's to be recorded on expenditure side. Printing also, revenue expenditure should be debited to income and expenditure account. Annual day expenses should be debited. Symposium expenses should be debited. Telephone charges 2,500, and prepaid amount is there, that should be deducted in the income and expenditure account. Expenses as it is you have to show. Shares purchased, it's an investment, already investment is there here, 5,000 or so. To that you have to add 75,000 in the balance sheet, because that is not a revenue expenditure. Postage 2,200. Regarding that I already told what is the postage stamps used during the year, or postage expenses, that you have to find out. For that, opening balance, add postage incurred or purchased less closing stock, so you will get postage expenses for the current year. Okay, in the balance sheet, opening balance of stamps. In the closing balance sheet, closing balance of stamps. Building maintenance. Okay, maintenance expenses are always revenue expenditure, so it should be debited to income and expenditure account. Bank balance, this will come to the closing balance sheet. Opening bank balance, this will come to the opening balance sheet. So I have explained everything. Now let us see the preparation of opening balance sheet, income and expenditure account, etc. Cashier bank, already I told you, these 12,500 balance at the beginning should be shown there. Then outstanding subscription, it is given in the adjustment relating to the last year, 1,000. Postage stamps at the beginning 250. Investments at the beginning 5,000. Buildings 50,000. So the balancing figure is nothing but capital fund 68,750. We'll move on to the income and expenditure account. Subscription 52,500. It is there in the receipt side of receipts and payment account. Outstanding subscription of last year 1,000. See here, it is here. So it is received in the year, therefore it is not relating to current year, deduct it. The outstanding for the current year 1,500 is given in the adjustment. So 53,000 rupees will be the total. But for current year subscription is just 50,000 because 250 members, 200 members at the rate of 250 per member. Therefore that comes to 50,000. So you have got 53,000, whereas what is receivable during the year is, for the year is 50,000. So remaining amount is nothing but subscription received in advance for 2012-13. So this is the amount you have ascertained or calculated. So net value is 50,000. Annual day subscription 26,800. Add outstanding. This much is the value. Symposium receipts. Dividend on shares. Look at the debit side. Salaries, printing, symposium expenses, telephone, prepaid 300. So it should be deducted. Okay, I'm sorry. This should be deducted, not added. It should be deducted. Okay, some subject to correction. So it should be deducted. Then expenses 2,000. Postage 250. Add purchases 2,200 less closing stock 150. So 2,300. Building maintenance 6,340. Outstanding rent, nothing is paid during the year, therefore entire amount is outstanding 2,500. This is found in the adjustment. Depreciation on building, opening balance is 50,000. They say your charge depreciation at the rate of 5%, that comes to 2,500. Now if you balance the two sides, you will get balancing figure 68,960. That is the surplus or excess of income or expenditure. Come to the closing balance sheet. Closing bank balance 13,510. This is on 31st March 2012. Closing stock of postage stamps 150. Outstanding annual day receipts 250. Any adjustment, it must be treated twice. Therefore, once in income and expenditure account, once again here because that is receivable income. Prepaid telephone expenses, so 300. So it is as good as paid in advance. Investments 5,000. Okay, then additions during the year 75,000, together 80,000. Building balance at the beginning 50,000, but during the year there was depreciation to the tune of 5%, the extent of 5%, so that comes to 2,500. As a result, balancing value is 47,500. Look at the liability side, subject to correction once again here. It should be liabilities and this should be assets. Once again, I am subject to correction. Okay. Yes, outstanding rent 2,500. Subscription received in advance 3,000. Yes, we have calculated. I have also given a working note on that. Then capital fund in the opening balance sheet you find 68,750. Then surplus, that is excess of income or expenditure 68,960. So that should be added. As a result, 1,37,700. Total of balance sheet is 1,43,210. And very sorry, this should be liabilities and this should be asset. By oversight, that has been written like that. Okay. Calculation of subscription received in advance during the year pertaining to 2012-13. See, subscription received during the year 52,500. Of that, 1,000 received is for the last year. Therefore, it should be deducted. It should be deducted. Sorry, it should be deducted. Once again, a mistake. Then outstanding subscription for the current year 1500. Then uh, actually subscription due for the year 2011-12 is 50,000. That means you have received more amount that should be taken as subscription received in advance for the year 12-13. So thank you very much.